First contact and rising tensions. The vast emptiness of space had always beckoned humanity, promising adventure and discovery. But on that fateful day in 2157, when the massive alien ship appeared in Earth's orbit, the universe suddenly felt a lot smaller and infinitely more dangerous. Dr. Samantha Chen, lead scientist at the Global Space Initiative, was the first to detect the anomaly. Her team had been tracking what they thought was a new comet, only to watch in awe as it decelerated and took up a geosynchronous orbit above North America. "This is impossible," Samantha muttered, her eyes fixed on the readings scrolling across her holographic display. Nothing that big should be able to maneuver like that. As news of the alien arrival spread, the world held its collective breath. Would this be humanity's greatest moment or its last? President Adebayo of the United Earth Coalition called an emergency meeting of world leaders. In a bunker deep beneath Geneva, they debated their next move while military forces around the globe went on high alert. It was during this tense meeting that the aliens made their first move, a message broadcast simultaneously on every communication device on the planet, in perfect English. "People of Earth, we are the Zarkan Empire. Your world now falls under our protection and rule. Prepare to receive your new masters." The chamber erupted in chaos. Some leaders called for immediate surrender, while others demanded a show of force. Through it all, President Adebayo remained calm, her eyes fixed on the holographic projection of the alien ship. "We need more information," she said, her voice cutting through the noise. "Before we make any decisions, we need to understand what we're dealing with." Enter Captain Jack Harper, decorated veteran and commander of Earth's first faster-than-light ship, the ESS Horizon. With his rakish grin and devil-may-care attitude, he was an unlikely diplomat. But his experience in deep space exploration made him the perfect candidate for humanity's first face-to-face meeting with the Zarkan. As the Horizon approached the alien vessel, Harper couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and dread. "All right, team," he said to his crew, a hand-picked group of Earth's finest. "Let's go make history." The meeting with the Zarkan ambassador, a towering insectoid creature named Vexilor, was tense from the start. Vexilor's mandibles clicked in what Harper assumed was amusement as he explained the situation. "Your species has potential," Vexilor chittered, "but you are young, unruly. The Empire will guide you, shape you into productive members of our galactic society." Harper's eyes narrowed. "And if we refuse this generous offer?" Vexilor's compound eyes glittered. "Then you will be deemed a threat and dealt with accordingly. Many species have made that mistake. None have survived to repeat it." As Harper relayed this information back to Earth, the gravity of the situation became clear. Humanity was facing an existential threat, one it was woefully unprepared for. Or was it? In the days that followed, as the world's governments scrambled to formulate a response, a secret project hidden deep in the Australian outback sprang into action. Operation Stardust, a contingency plan developed in the wake of the discovery of alien ruins on Mars, might just be humanity's ace in the hole. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the brilliant and eccentric lead scientist of Operation Stardust, worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets of the alien technology they had reverse-engineered. "We're close," she muttered, her hands flying over holographic controls. "So close to cracking the code." Meanwhile, tensions on Earth continued to rise. The Zarkan's ultimatum loomed: submit or face annihilation. Military forces around the world mobilized, knowing full well that their most advanced weapons would be little more than pea shooters against the aliens' technology. Captain Harper, now acting as Earth's primary liaison with the Zarkan, walked a diplomatic tightrope. Every conversation with Vexilor felt like a chess match, each word carefully chosen to buy Earth more time without provoking immediate retaliation. "Your species continues to surprise me, Captain," Vexilor said during one of their meetings. "Most races beg for mercy by now, yet you stand defiant." Harper grinned, though there was no humor in his eyes. "What can I say? Humans are stubborn like that. As the deadline approached, President Adebayo made a bold decision. In a globally televised address, she rejected the Zarkan's demands. "We are humanity," she declared, her voice ringing with conviction. "We have faced extinction before from our own making and from forces beyond our control. Each time, we have emerged stronger. We will not bow. We will not break. And we will not surrender our home without a fight." The speech galvanized the people of Earth. From the gleaming megacities to the smallest villages, humans put aside their differences and united against the common threat. Scientists and engineers worked around the clock, seeking any advantage they could find. Soldiers trained for a war unlike any in human history. And in her lab in the Australian desert, Dr. Rodriguez finally had a breakthrough. "We've done it," she whispered, staring at the fruit of years of labor. A small device, no larger than a smartphone, hummed with power. If her calculations were correct, it could change everything. As news of the breakthrough reached the world's leaders, a plan began to form. It was risky, with success far from guaranteed. But with the alternative being enslavement or extinction, it was a risk they had to take. Captain Harper received his new orders with a grim smile. "Well, folks," he said to his crew as they prepared for their most dangerous mission yet, "looks like we're about to save the world." As the Horizon undocked from the space station, carrying humanity's last, best hope, the Zarkan ship loomed in the sky, a constant reminder of the threat they faced. The stage was set. Humanity's future hung in the balance, and the galaxy watched, waiting to see if this young, defiant species had what it took to change the course of galactic history. Little did the Zarkan know, Earth was about to give them a demonstration of why you should never underestimate human ingenuity and determination. The real battle was just beginning. The Galactic Empire's ultimatum. The tension in the air was palpable as Captain Jack Harper guided the ESS Horizon towards the imposing Zarkan mothership. His palms were sweaty on the controls, but his voice remained steady as he addressed his crew. "Remember the plan," he said, his eyes fixed on the looming alien vessel. "We're here to negotiate, but be ready for anything." Dr. Elena Rodriguez sat beside him, clutching the device they dubbed the Pandora's Box. Her creation, built from reverse-engineered alien tech, was humanity's secret weapon and possibly their last hope. As they docked with the Zarkan ship, Harper couldn't help but marvel at its scale. The Horizon, Earth's pride and joy, looked like a toy next to this behemoth. Vexlor greeted them in the docking bay, his towering insectoid form flanked by guards. "Captain Harper," he chittered, mandibles clicking. "I trust you've come to deliver your species' surrender." Harper forced a smile. "Actually, we've come to propose an alternative." The Zarkan ambassador's compound eyes glittered with amusement. "Oh, and what could you possibly offer that would change the Empire's mind?" Harper nodded to Rodriguez, who stepped forward with the Pandora's Box. "We've made some advancements since our last meeting," Harper said, trying to keep his voice casual. "We thought you might be interested." Vexlor's attention locked onto the device. "Impossible," he hissed. "Your species couldn't have." Before he could finish, Rodriguez activated the Pandora's Box. A pulse of energy rippled out, and suddenly every piece of Zarkan technology in the docking bay went dark. In the moment of confusion that followed, Harper's team sprang into action. They'd trained for this, drilling endlessly in the days leading up to the mission. With precision and speed, they subdued the stunned Zarkan guards. Harper faced Vexlor, whose mandibles were now clicking furiously. "I think it's time we had a real conversation about the future of Earth and its place in the galaxy." Back on Earth, President Adebayo watched the live feed from the Horizon with bated breath. The success of Harper's mission could change everything, or doom them all. As Harper and Vexlor retreated to a conference room for negotiations, tensions on Earth reached a fever pitch. Military forces around the world remained on high alert, ready to face an invasion that could begin at any moment. In orbit, the crew of the International Space Station kept a vigilant watch on the Zarkan mothership, ready to sound the alarm at the first sign of hostile action. Inside the alien vessel, Harper laid out humanity's terms. "We've proven we can neutralize your technology," he said, his voice firm. "We don't want war, but we won't submit to enslavement either. We're proposing a partnership instead." Vexilor's compound eyes narrowed. "You play a dangerous game, human. The Empire does not negotiate with lesser species." "Maybe it's time they started," Harper retorted, "because this lesser species just showed we can level the playing field." As the negotiations stretched on, Dr. Rodriguez worked feverishly to analyze the alien tech surrounding them. Every bit of data she could gather might prove crucial in the days to come. Meanwhile, on Earth, humanity held its collective breath. In every city, every home, people gathered around screens, waiting for news. The fate of their species hung in the balance, and for once, all of humanity was united in a common cause. In New York, a group of hackers worked tirelessly to bolster Earth's cyber defenses, anticipating any digital warfare the Zarkhan might unleash. In Beijing, scientists pored over astronomical data, searching for any clues about the Zarkhan's origins and potential weaknesses. And in a small village in Kenya, a young girl named Amani stared up at the sky, the alien ship visible as a small, ominous dot. "We'll win," she whispered to herself. "We have to." Back on the Zarkhan ship, the negotiations had reached a critical point. Vexilor's patience was wearing thin, and Harper knew he was running out of time. "You don't understand what you're dealing with," Vexilor hissed. "The Empire spans galaxies. Your one small victory means nothing in the grand scheme." Harper leaned forward, his eyes blazing with intensity. "Maybe not, but it's a start. And if there's one thing you should know about humans, it's that we never stop once we've started." As if to punctuate his words, alarms suddenly blared throughout the ship. Vexilor's communicator crackled to life, filling the room with panicked chittering in the Zarkhan language. Harper didn't need a translation to understand the gist. More human ships had been detected entering the solar system. What the Zarkhan didn't know, what even Harper hadn't known when he'd embarked on this mission, was that Operation Stardust had been more extensive than anyone had realized. Deep in secret bases around the world, humanity had been preparing for this moment. Ships retrofitted with the same technology as the Pandora's Box were now emerging from hidden lunar bases and camouflaged asteroid facilities. Earth wasn't as defenseless as the Zarkhan had believed. Not by a long shot. Vexilor turned to Harper, his alien features unreadable. "It seems," he said slowly, "that we may have underestimated your species." Harper allowed himself a small, grim smile. That tends to happen a lot. As reports flooded in of human ships engaging Zarkhan forces throughout the solar system, Harper knew that the real battle was just beginning. But for the first time since the alien ship had appeared in Earth's orbit, he felt a glimmer of hope. Humanity had taken its stand. They had revealed their strength, their ingenuity, and their unwavering resolve. Now they would fight not just for their survival, but for their place among the stars. The Zarkhan Empire was about to learn a harsh lesson. Never underestimate the human spirit, because when pushed to the brink, humanity doesn't just fight back. It changes the rules of the game entirely. As alarms continued to blare and the ship shuddered from distant explosions, Harper met Vexilor's gaze. "So," he said, his voice steady despite the chaos around them, "shall we continue our discussion about that partnership?" The battle for Earth and humanity's future had begun in earnest. Earth's secret weapon. As chaos erupted aboard the Zarkhan mothership, Captain Jack Harper and Dr. Elena Rodriguez found themselves in a precarious position. They were deep in enemy territory, with only their wits and the mysterious Pandora's Box to protect them. "We need to get back to the horizon," Harper muttered, his eyes darting around the alien corridor. Alarms blared, and the ship shuddered from distant impacts. The battle for Earth had begun, and they were caught in the middle of it. Rodriguez clutched the Pandora's Box tightly. "Jack, we can't leave yet. This is our chance to gather crucial intelligence." Harper hesitated, torn between the mission and the safety of his crew. Finally, he nodded. "All right, but we move fast and stay together." As they navigated the labyrinthine halls of the alien vessel, they witnessed the full extent of the chaos they had unleashed. Zarkan warriors rushed past them, too preoccupied with the battle to notice the humans in their midst. Sparks flew from malfunctioning consoles, evidence of the effectiveness of Earth's new weapon. Back on Earth, President Adebayo stood in the war room, surrounded by holographic displays showing the unfolding battle. Human ships, hidden for years in preparation for this moment, engaged the Zarkan fleet throughout the solar system. "Status report," Adebayo demanded, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. General Zhao, head of Earth's Unified Defense Force, stepped forward. "Our ships are holding their own, Madam President. The Pandora's Box technology is working better than we could have hoped, but the Zarkans still outnumber us significantly." Adebayo nodded grimly. "And the civilian population? Underground shelters are at full capacity. We're as prepared as we can be." As Earth's leaders coordinated their defense, ordinary citizens around the world watched the skies with a mixture of fear and determination. In London, volunteers organized supply chains to keep the shelters stocked. In Rio de Janeiro, hackers worked tirelessly to disrupt Zarkan communications. And in Tokyo, engineers raced to adapt the Pandora's Box technology for large-scale use. High above the Earth, the space battle raged on. Commander Sarachen, leading a squadron of Earth's newest fighters, weaved through the debris of destroyed ships, both human and Zarkan. "Stay in formation," she barked into her comm. "Remember your training. We may be outnumbered, but we got the element of surprise on our side." Her squadron executed a daring maneuver, disabling the Zarkan cruiser with a well-placed burst from their Pandora's Box-derived weapons. But for every alien ship they took down, two more seemed to appear. Meanwhile, aboard the Zarkan mothership, Harper and Rodriguez had made a startling discovery. They stood before a massive holographic display, showing not just their solar system, but hundreds of others. "My God," Rodriguez breathed. "The Empire, it's vast. So much bigger than we imagined." Harper's face was grim. "Which means this battle is just the beginning. Even if we win here, there's a whole galaxy of threats out there." As they absorbed this revelation, a familiar chittering sound made them spin around. Vexlor stood there, flanked by armed guards. "I must admit, humans," the alien ambassador said, his mandibles clicking rapidly, "you have surprised us. But do you really think your primitive species can stand against the might of the entire Empire?" Harper stepped forward, shielding Rodriguez and the Pandora's Box. "We're not as primitive as you think, and we're quick learners." Vexlor's compound eyes glittered. "Perhaps, but learning requires time, Captain Harper, and that is something you do not have." With a gesture from Vexlor, the guards raised their weapons. But before they could fire, the ship rocked violently, throwing everyone off balance. Harper seized the moment, tackling Vexlor while Rodriguez activated the Pandora's Box, disabling the guards' weapons. As alarms blared and the ship shuddered around them, Harper pinned Vexlor against the wall. "Looks like time isn't on your side either," he growled. Back on Earth, a breakthrough was unfolding. In her underground lab, Dr. Amelia Cheng had made a critical discovery. Analyzing data from the Pandora's Box, she had found a way to amplify its effects exponentially. "President Adebayo," she said, her voice trembling with excitement as she addressed the Emergency Council, "we can create a planet-wide energy field. It won't just disable their tech. It'll create a barrier they can't penetrate." The council chamber erupted in a flurry of discussion. It was a radical plan, untested and potentially dangerous. But faced with the alternative of alien domination, the decision was clear. "Do it," Adebayo ordered. As Dr. Cheng and her team raced to implement the planetary shield, the battle in space reached a fever pitch. Earth's forces fought valiantly, but they were being pushed back. The Zarkin's superior numbers were beginning to tell. Commander Chen's voice crackled over the general frequency. We can't hold them much longer. We need that shield. Now. On the Zarkin mothership, Harper and Rodriguez had fought their way back to the horizon, dragging a captive Vexlor with them. As they prepared to undock, Rodriguez's eyes widened at a reading on her tablet. Jack, she said urgently, something's happening on Earth. Some kind of massive energy buildup. Harper strapped himself into the pilot's seat. Whatever it is, let's hope it's on our side. Hang on, this is going to be a rough ride. As the Horizon detached from the mothership and plunged into the chaotic space battle, the fate of Earth hung in the balance. In labs and bunkers, in fighter cockpits and command centers, humans fought with everything they had. And then, just as it seemed all hope was lost, it happened. A wave of energy burst forth from the Earth, expanding rapidly into space. It washed over friend and foe alike, but while the human ships were unaffected, every Zarkin vessel suddenly went dark. The silence that followed was deafening. Harper stared in awe at the sight before him. The entire Zarkin fleet, once so mighty and terrifying, now drifting helplessly in space. We did it, Rodriguez whispered, her voice filled with disbelief and joy. But as the initial euphoria faded, Harper's expression grew serious. He looked at Vexlor, who was watching the scene with unreadable alien eyes. This isn't over, is it? Harper asked. Vexlor's mandibles clicked softly. No, human. I'm afraid this is only the beginning. As the disabled Zarkin ships drifted in Earth's orbit, a new chapter in human history was about to unfold. They had won the battle, but the war for their place in the galaxy was just beginning, and humanity would need every ounce of its newfound strength, unity, and technological prowess to face the challenges that lay ahead. The stars had once seemed so distant and unreachable. Now, they were a battlefield, and humanity had just announced its arrival on the galactic stage. The battle for the solar system. The eerie silence that followed Earth's unprecedented display of power was short-lived. As the disabled Zarkin ships drifted aimlessly in space, humanity faced a new set of challenges and decisions that would shape their future in the cosmos. Captain Jack Harper piloted the Horizon back to Earth, his mind racing with the implications of what had just transpired. Beside him, Dr. Elena Rodriguez worked furiously to analyze the data from the planetary shield, while their captive, Vexlor, watched in silent contemplation. As they re-entered Earth's atmosphere, the view below was one of cautious celebration mixed with frantic activity. The shield had worked, but no one knew how long it would last, or what repercussions might follow. President Adebayo wasted no time in convening an emergency global council. Representatives from every nation gathered virtually, their faces a mix of relief, concern, and determination. We've won a significant battle, Adebayo began, her voice firm. But as we've learned, the Zarkin Empire is vast. We must prepare for their retaliation and decide our next steps carefully. The debate that followed was intense. Some argued for immediately reverse engineering the Zarkin technology from the disabled ships in orbit. Others pushed for attempting diplomatic relations with other alien species, seeking allies in the wider galaxy. Dr. Amelia Cheng, the architect of the planetary shield, spoke up. The shield buys us time, but it's not a permanent solution. We need to expand our defenses beyond Earth, establish a presence throughout our solar system. Her words sparked a new round of discussion. The idea of rapidly colonizing and fortifying the solar system was ambitious, perhaps even reckless. But faced with the threat of an empire that spanned galaxies, it seemed their only choice. As the council debated, Harper and Rodriguez arrived at the United Earth Defense Headquarters with their alien captive in tow. The sight of Vexlor, now subdued and surrounded by human guards, sent a ripple of unease through the facility. In a secure interrogation room, Harper faced the Zarkin ambassador. "Your fleet is neutralized," he said, his voice level. "It's time you told us everything you know about the Empire's capabilities and intentions." Vexilor's compound eyes glittered. You believe you've won, don't you? But you've merely stirred the hive. The Empire will not take this humiliation lightly. Despite Vexilor's ominous words, the interrogation yielded valuable intelligence. The Zarkan Empire, while vast, was not without its own internal conflicts and weaknesses, and Earth's resistance had not gone unnoticed by other species chafing under the Empire's rule. Armed with this knowledge, Earth's leaders made a bold decision. Operation Solar Bulwark was initiated, a massive effort to establish defensive outposts and colonies throughout the solar system. The next few months were a whirlwind of activity. Every resource on Earth was devoted to the cause. Shipyards worked around the clock, producing vessels equipped with Pandora's box technology. The first permanent bases on the Moon and Mars were established in record time. Dr. Rodriguez led a team in adapting the planetary shield technology for smaller-scale use, creating bubbles of protection around the new outposts. Meanwhile, Dr. Cheng worked on enhancing humanity's faster-than-light capabilities, knowing they would need to strike beyond their solar system eventually. But the Zarkan Empire was not idle. 6 months after their defeat at Earth, a new fleet arrived at the edge of the solar system. This one was larger, more powerful, and undoubtedly prepared for Earth's defenses. As the alien armada approached, humanity faced its greatest test. The outposts on the outer planets, still under construction, were the first line of defense. On Titan, Commander Sarah Chen rallied her forces. "This is what we've trained for," she told the assembled pilots and soldiers. "We are the shield that protects Earth. We will not falter." The battle that followed was unlike anything in human history. Swarms of fighters clashed in the space around Saturn, their weapons lighting up the gas giant's rings. On the surface of Titan, ground forces repelled Zarkan landing parties, the alien troops struggling in the Moon's low gravity. Earth's defenses held, but at a great cost. Outposts were destroyed, ships lost, brave men and women sacrificed. Yet for every setback, humanity's resolve only grew stronger. In a daring maneuver, Captain Harper led a strike team deep into the heart of the Zarkan fleet. Their mission? To capture the enemy flagship and its advanced AI core. It was a near-suicide mission, but one that could turn the tide of the war. As Harper's team fought their way through the alien vessel, Dr. Rodriguez worked with the captured Vexilor, now more cooperative in the face of his species' aggression. Together, they discovered a crucial weakness in the Zarkan battle strategy, a flaw in their hive mind command structure. With this knowledge and control of the flagship's AI, Harper broadcast a virus through the Zarkan fleet. Confusion spread among the alien ships as their coordinated attack fell apart. Seizing the moment, Earth's forces launched a counterattack. Ships armed with improved Pandora's box weapons tore through the disoriented Zarkan fleet. Within hours, the battle was over. The second Zarkan invasion had been repelled. As the dust settled, humanity found itself in possession of a treasure trove of advanced alien technology. But more importantly, they had sent a clear message to the galaxy: Earth was not to be trifled with. In the aftermath, President Adebayo addressed the world. "Today, we have once again proven that humanity's spirit cannot be broken. But our journey is far from over. We have taken our first steps into a larger galaxy, one filled with wonders and dangers beyond our imagination. Together, united as one people, we will meet this new frontier head-on." As her words echoed across the planet and out to the new colonies in the solar system, a sense of pride and determination swept through humanity. They had faced extinction and emerged victorious. Now, the stars themselves were within their reach. But in the vast depths of space, news of Earth's defiance spread. In the heart of the Zarkan Empire, plans were already being made, and in hidden corners of the galaxy, other races watched with interest as a new power rose from a once insignificant blue planet. The battle for the solar system was over, but humanity's war for survival, and its place in the galactic community, had only just begun. Aftermath and new galactic order. In the years following Earth's second victory against the Zarkan Empire, humanity experienced a renaissance unlike any in its history. The solar system, once a distant frontier, became humanity's bustling backyard. Colonies on Mars and the Jovian moons flourished, while vast space stations orbited the outer planets, ever vigilant for signs of another invasion. But Earth itself had changed the most. The unified purpose brought about by the alien threat had ushered in an era of unprecedented cooperation and technological advancement. The Pandora's box technology, combined with captured Zarkan systems, propelled human science forward by centuries in mere years. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, now heading the newly established Galactic Research Institute, stood before a holographic display of the Milky Way. Countless stars twinkled, each one a potential home to alien life. Allies or enemies yet to be encountered. "We've come so far," she murmured, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "But we have so much further to go." A ping from her communicator interrupted her thoughts. It was Captain, now Admiral, Jack Harper. "Elena, we've got a situation. The Council needs us immediately." In the Grand Chamber of the United Earth Government, representatives from Earth and all its colonies gathered. President Adebayo, her hair now streaked with gray from the stresses of leading humanity through its greatest crisis, took the podium. "We've received a transmission," she announced, her voice grave. "Not from the Zarkan, but from a species calling themselves the Arcturians. They're requesting a diplomatic meeting." The chamber erupted in murmurs. First contact with a new alien race was both exciting and terrifying, especially given humanity's history with extraterrestrial life. Admiral Harper stepped forward. "What do we know about them?" It was Vexlor, the former Zarkan ambassador now serving as an advisor to Earth, who answered. "The Arcturians are an ancient race, respected even by the Empire. If they're reaching out, it's significant." The decision was made to accept the Arcturians' invitation. A delegation led by Admiral Harper and Dr. Rodriguez would make the journey to neutral space for the meeting. As they prepared to depart aboard the flagship Horizon Aya, a sense of déjà vu swept over Harper. "Feels familiar, doesn't it?" he said to Rodriguez as they strapped into their seats. "Heading into the unknown, the fate of Earth on our shoulders." Rodriguez smiled wryly. "At least this time we're better prepared." The journey took them further from Earth than any human had ever traveled. When they arrived at the coordinates, they found themselves face to face with an Arcturian vessel, a breathtaking construct of crystalline structures and pulsing energy fields. The meeting that followed would go down in history as the moment humanity truly joined the galactic community. The Arcturians, it turned out, had been watching Earth's struggles against the Zarkan with great interest. "Your species has shown remarkable resilience and ingenuity." The Arcturian emissary, a being of swirling light and color, communicated telepathically. "We believe you may be the key to bringing balance to our galaxy." The Arcturians explained that the Zarkan Empire's expansionist policies had long been a concern for many of the galaxy's older races. Earth's successful resistance had created cracks in the Empire's facade of invincibility. Now there was an opportunity for change. "We propose an alliance," the Arcturian continued, "not just between our peoples, but a grand coalition of species dedicated to peace and mutual prosperity." It was an offer beyond humanity's wildest dreams: access to advanced technologies, cultural exchanges with dozens of alien races, and a chance to help shape the future of the galaxy. But it also came with great responsibility. Earth would be expected to play a significant role in the coming conflict with the Zarkan Empire. The war that had begun in Earth's solar system would soon engulf the entire galaxy. As Harper and Rodriguez conveyed this information back to Earth, the implications were not lost on anyone. Humanity stood at a crossroads. They could choose isolation, focusing on fortifying their solar system against future threats, or they could step onto the galactic stage, accepting both the risks and rewards that came with it. The debate was fierce, but in the end, the decision was nearly unanimous. humanity would join the Galactic Alliance. In a ceremony broadcast to every corner of human-controlled space, President Adebayo signed the Treaty of Galactic Cooperation. "Today, we take our place among the stars," she declared, "not as conquerors, but as partners, not in fear, but in hope." As news of the treaty spread, celebrations erupted across Earth and its colonies. But amid the joy, there was also a sense of nervous anticipation. The real work was just beginning. In the months that followed, Earth became a hub of interstellar activity. Alien diplomats walked the streets of New York and Beijing. Human scientists collaborated with their extraterrestrial counterparts, making breakthroughs that pushed the boundaries of known physics. The Zarkan Empire, faced with this new alliance, found itself increasingly isolated. Rebellions broke out on subjugated worlds, inspired by Earth's example of resistance. But the Empire was far from defeated. As reports came in of Zarkan fleets massing on the borders of Allied space, humanity knew that the greatest challenges still lay ahead. Admiral Harper stood on the bridge of the Horizon II, watching as a fleet of Earth ships trained alongside Arcturian and other alien vessels. "You know," he said to Rodriguez, who stood beside him, "when I joined the space program, I never imagined anything like this." Rodriguez nodded, her eyes on the stars beyond. "We've come so far, so fast. Sometimes I wonder if we're ready for what's out there." Harper's expression was determined. "Ready or not, it's our future, and I wouldn't have it any other way." As the combined fleet prepared for its first joint mission, the mood across human space was one of nervous excitement. The universe had proven to be more dangerous than anyone had imagined, but also more wondrous. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged stronger, more united, and with a newfound place in the cosmos. The road ahead would be challenging, filled with battles both martial and diplomatic. But as the people of Earth looked to the stars, they did so not with fear, but with hope and determination. They had survived first contact, repelled invasions, and now stood ready to help forge a new galactic order. The age of Earth had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.